Hey, Norman with iSaveTractors. In this video, I'm going to give you an overview and a walk around of this Simplicity Sunstar 18 garden tractor. Now, this is the same tractor that was featured in my $150 find and repair video. I'll put a link right above on top of the screen right about here. These tractors were made by Simplicity Manufacturing. They were made for the Simplicity brand as well as the Dutz Alice brand, and I believe also the AGCO brand. I could be wrong about that one. But these are very cool tractors. These weigh in at about 1,000 pounds with the 48-inch mower deck, according to TractorData.com. This tractor features a large 4.2-gallon fuel tank behind the driver's seat. On the rear of the tractor, I like tractors with the rear fuel tanks. It makes refueling much easier. It makes it so you can have a larger fuel tank as well. And so this one, if you have a very large property, you can mow for several hours with this setup. Now, this particular Sunstar 18 does not have power steering. The Sunstar 20 and the Dutz Alice and AGCO equivalents have power steering, but this one does not. This lever on the left-hand side, this is your mower deck lift lever. The lift is all hydraulically controlled right here. You pull it back to lift up the deck. You push it forward to lower it. This lever is your hydrostatic transmission control lever. Right now, it sits in the neutral detent to move the tractor forward. You pull the lever away from the detent, you push it forward to go forward, and then to go in reverse, you pull it back towards yourself. I really like the way it's positioned. It's kind of bent out, yet still close to the steering wheel. That way, if you had to stop the tractor one-handed, say I don't know what you'd be doing with your left hand, but if you had to, you could just, while holding the steering wheel, you can extend out your fingers and pull that lever back to neutral if you had to. So it's really ergonomic. I really like the location of that lever. The dashboard also features a bunch of indicator and warning lights for low oil pressure, neutral position on your hydro lever, rear PTO. It also has a voltmeter, an hour meter, and a fuel gauge, which is pretty cool. This tractor has on it a very heavy-duty Peerless 2600 transaxle, which is mated to a Sunstrand hydrostatic transmission, and this tractor also has dual drum brakes. Now, here is the front axle of this tractor. It's very interesting in terms of most front axles on these kind of garden tractors have a center pivot point underneath the frame where the axle can kind of pivot on uneven ground. This Sunstrand, however, it's like a three-piece front axle. So there's like a center piece that's connected to your frame, and then there are these side pieces, like what you see on camera here, that's connected to that center piece. And these little side axle pieces are what pivot with uneven ground. So it's very unusual. This is the only tractor that I know of that has a front axle setup like this. So I guess I could see that, with these kind of separate pivoting motions, there could be a little bit more room for wear. I'm not 100% sure on that. Other Simplicity diehard fans may be able to chime in on kind of how long-term sturdy these axles are. But the axle on this particular tractor are great, nice and tight. But it is an important thing to note, and it is very interesting. And that's part of the reason why I love all these old garden tractors. There are a lot of little variations that different companies made to their machine. Like this one has this weird center, front pivoting axle setup. Some of the older Power Kings have like a different steering setup. Some even had chains to steer. So it's all very cool. All the differences in these are what make it very interesting. Now what you're looking at here is the gearbox of the 48-inch mower deck that's on this machine. So this mower deck is driven by a shaft, which is driven off of a PTO shaft, which is turned by pulleys on the front of the engine. So Simplicity are known as excellent mowers, and this one is no exception. Look at that nice heavy-duty drive shaft going back to the gearbox that runs the mower deck. So this is the front of the tractor. That little plate with the warning sign on it, that's a little PTO shield. If you take that off, it will actually reveal a spline PTO shaft there to connect snowblowers and other front implements. Having a front PTO spline shaft is great. My John Deere 400 has it too. It makes installing implements onto the front of this tractor much, much easier. And of course, it also provides for a really efficient transfer of power from the engine to the implement. Now back to the mower deck. Simplicity is known for having excellent mowing decks and mowing machines, and this one is no exception. This is a left-hand discharge, which I guess is a simplicity thing. A lot of other tractor makers will put the discharge on the right, but this one is on the left. That is the adjustment lever for the different cutting heights, and all of these rollers are in the back of the mowing deck to help give your lawn that beautiful simplicity striped look, and that's what those are for. Now comes to my favorite part of the tractor, under the hood, looking at the engine. This Simplicity Sunstar 18 is powered by a Kohler Magnum 18 horizontal shaft opposed twin flathead engine. This uses a solid-state ignition system, so you don't have to worry about points and condensers and timing and things like that. Very, very strong engines. This one also has a full-pressure lubrication, so oil pressure is getting everywhere in here. Great, great engine. Under this cover is the battery. Another nice touch of this tractor is the rear end fluid. You can actually fill it from right here under the hood. That's for the hydrostatic transmission fluid, which is in the transaxle, but it has this fill tube coming all the way from under the hood. So that's really nice. You don't have to crawl under your tractor or crawl behind it or get into tight spaces to put oil in it. Here's another cool feature. This right here that you're looking at, this little wavy thing, this is an oil cooler for the rear end and the hydrostatic transmission. So oil will actually get pumped through here, and then the flywheel will draw air past this, and it just kind of works doubly effective in keeping your oil cool, thus running more efficiently. Pretty neat touch. And there you have it. This is the Simplicity Sunstar 18. This tractor was made between the years 1987 and 1997, so it had a good 10-year, decade-long production run. I hope you enjoyed it. I really like this tractor. At the time of this recording now, I actually gave this tractor to my mother-in-law so she can mow her property. I always like to pay it forward when I get these great deals. By the way, if you ever need parts for an engine like this one, the Magnum 18 and this Simplicity Sunstar 18, please look no further than iSaveTractors. This whole channel is sponsored by the company that I founded about 8 years ago, and we are the world's leading developers in aftermarket parts for all of your old, favorite, vintage cast iron and not cast iron, small engines like the Kohler Magnum 18 that powers the Simplicity Sunstar. We also make parts for all the old Kohler K Series, the KT Twin Series, the Onan engines, Tecumseh, Wisconsin. We don't just do engine parts, we do control cables. We do everything for your old vintage garden tractors. So if you need something, look us up at iSaveTractors.com. We would be happy to show you what we can do to help you save the tractors. My name is Norman once again. See you next time.